First, I'll make the juicy and addictive pork wrapped asparagus bento. The key to this main dish is the addictive sauce, which makes asparagus taste 10 times better than usual. First, we'll tackle the asparagus, starting by peeling the slightly tough lower end. Next, cut the asparagus to a length that fits perfectly into your bento box. Now it's time to wrap the asparagus in pork. For this recipe, we'll use thinly sliced pork loin. Thinly sliced beef is also an excellent alternative. Season one side of the pork with salt and pepper. Since we'll be adding a sauce later, we'll only season one side to prevent overpowering the flavors. Lightly coat the pork with potato starch. I usually use flour, but I opted for potato starch this time. Either way works perfectly. Wrap the flavor side around the asparagus. Wrap it around like this. Set aside any leftover asparagus for stir frying or boiling later. Finally, lightly sprinkle the outside with potato starch. Oil a fry pan and fry them. Cook over medium heat, aiming for a slight sear on the surface. By the way, it's quite common in Japan to wrap this slice of meat around various ingredients and coat them in flavorful sauces. Asparagus is a popular choice, but carrots, green beans are also frequently used. Okra or bell peppers may also be used. Even semi-cooked eggs or rice balls can be wrapped in meat for a delightful treat. So feel free to experiment with your favorite ingredients and create your own unique culinary masterpiece. After the asparagus rolls are evenly cooked by rotating them, remove them from the pan. Pour the sauce ingredients into the pan where the meat juices remain. Add soy sauce, mirin, and sugar. Mix well and bring to a light simmer. Return the asparagus rolls to the pan. While reducing the sauce, let the sauce soak well into the meat. Since the meat is coated with potato starch, the sauce will thicken slightly and coat the meat nicely. This completes the main dish. Now let's move on to the side dishes. These side dishes can be made ahead of time and stored in the fridge. First, let's make a dish using potatoes. Peel the potatoes. Cut them into bite-sized pieces and coat them with rice flour. Put the potatoes in the bag and shake to coat them evenly. Wheat flour or potato starch can also be used. I used rice flour because I had some left over. Heat oil in a fry pan and fry the potatoes. For a healthier option, you can use boiled potatoes or potatoes cooked in an air fryer. Once the potatoes are cooked through, remove them from the pan and clean the pan. Make the miso sauce in the same pan. Simply mix equal parts miso and mirin. This time I used a mix of soybean miso and barley miso. You can use any type of miso you have on hand. I I was about to bring the mixture to a light simmer, but the mirin evaporated quickly, so I added a little more. Once the miso is dissolved, return the potatoes to the pan and coat them well. This combination of miso and potatoes is a favorite way to eat potatoes that my grandfather loved. Since I had some komatsuna left in the fridge, I'm going to make a quick dish with it. I'll fry it with some sausages. I'll start by frying the sausage until they release some oil. Then add the komatsuna and continue frying. Since this is for a bento box, I avoided using liquid seasonings as they tend to make the dish soggy. Instead, I'll season with dashi powder, sugar, and salt and pepper. The sausages already have some saltiness and smoky flavor, so I don't need to add too much seasoning. I also decided to use up some leftover carrot. I will simply julienne the carrots and fry them until they are tender. After adding some sesame oil, I'll share my favorite way to eat carrots with you. It's just garlic and salt and pepper. I used garlic powder today, but you can also use fresh garlic or garlic paste. To finish it off, I'll sprinkle some white sesame seeds. Once the rice is slightly cooled, I'll pack it into the bento box along with the prepared side dishes. In addition to the miso potatoes, I also added some corn to the komatsuna stir fry. Let's give the asparagus rolls a little garnish with some sesame seeds. And finally, to add a touch that my husband loves, I'll add some pickled ginger, beni shoga. And there you have it, a delicious and colorful bento box. Next one is sauced katsu and teriyaki chicken bento. This bento is made in the image that you can taste two different types of rice balls. The first is sauced katsu pork cutlet bowl. Cut this pork loin to fit the bento box. Sprinkle salt and pepper over all. Cut a slit in the meat to prevent it from shrinking when fried in oil. Prepare panko and butter for making katsu. Before putting on the butter, flour it. It's recommended that the butter be made in this quantity. For your information, detailed materials are listed in the description section. Also, please check the link My Tools and Seasonings in the description for the seasonings used in the video. Dip the pork in the generous amount of butter before covering with panko. Don't miss the special sauce for this cutlet, which is important to make afterwards. The other type of rice ball uses chicken. After cutting away excess fat and stringy parts of the chicken, cut the chicken into bite-sized pieces. Smaller pieces are perfect for bento. Prepare potato starch for this time. Don't forget to season with salt and pepper. Sprinkle a small amount of potato starch like this. Less oil is needed this time. With this amount of oil, the chicken absorbs all the oil and the excess oil does not get in the way when the sauce is added later. Cook for 3 minutes on each side to crisp up the chicken. When the chicken is cooked, turn off or reduce the heat and season. Put sugar and soy sauce. Increase the heat slightly and toss the chicken with the sauce. When I make teriyaki chicken, I often add sake and mirin, but today I kept it pretty simple and seasoned it with just these two seasonings, and it was super delicious. The low water content also makes it easier for the chicken to absorb the sauce. Now that the chicken is done, Make the sauce for the cutlet. Put Worcestershire sauce, mirin, ketchup, and sugar. It tastes great with tonkatsu sauce or Worcestershire sauce alone, but with this special sauce, it tastes even better many times over, so please give it a try. After bringing the mixture to a boil in this way, immediately turn off the heat. This process should be done before frying the tonkatsu. Tonkatsu here will be deep fried as usual. Fry over medium heat for 3 minutes on each side for a beautiful golden brown color. If the color becomes much darker before 3 minutes have passed, the heat is too high and should be adjusted. Dip the tonkatsu in the sauce you just made. It's important to dip the tonkatsu while they are still warm. This style of tonkatsu is also quite famous in Japan and is familiar as sauced katsu. Finally, make something like simple scrambled eggs. This is to be combined with chicken, but you can make it in any style you like. Eggs are fluffy and perfect. By the way, today's rice was cooked in an earthenware pot, and my husband really liked it. This teriyaki seasoning is really good and may not need sake and mirin in the future. It's also a perfect match for eggs. Today there are no vegetables, so I really need to put this cabbage. These pickles are handmade. The pink color is achieved by adding a furikake called yukari, red shiso flavored furikake. Here is the recipe. This is a red pickled ginger I bought. Add a little more sauce. This is a luxurious bento box that allows you to enjoy 2 different types of rice balls. Next one is gyoza bento. First, cut the cabbage for the gyoza. It's easier to wrap them if they are cut quite finely. Some people make it with Chinese cabbage instead of cabbage. Also, it's popular to add Chinese chive. It's important to wipe off all moisture. Grate the ginger. Normally we use ground pork when making gyoza. Put ginger and garlic. Since fresh garlic was out of stock, use the paste. Add chicken stock powder, shantan, sake, soy sauce, sugar, and oyster sauce. Today I seasoned it strongly so that it would taste good even without the sauce since it was to be used in the bento box. Stir the mixture in this way until it becomes sticky. Add the cabbage that has just been cut. There is no Chinese chive, so leftover green onions are added. Mix the meat and vegetables. Prepare gyoza skin. Spread potato starch on the plate or container on which you will place the made gyoza. If you put in too much filling, it will not wrap well, so keep it at this level. Put water on the edge of the circle. Make pleats like this on one side of the skin only. The good thing about gyoza is that they can be frozen, and frozen gyoza can be cooked as is. If you put a thin layer of potato starch on the bottom of the gyoza like this, it will not stick to the plate and will be crispy and delicious when cooked. Remove excess potato starch by hand and store in a container for freezing. If cooking immediately on the same day or the next day, refrigeration is fine. Now let's cook it. Place the gyoza on a pan with a little oil. Potato starch is still attached. Please keep the heat off. When all the gyoza are arranged, turn on the heat. Add water and cook over medium heat. Cover and cook for 7 to 8 minutes. Be sure to put the lid on. If cooking frozen gyoza, cook them even longer. You may need to extend the time by 5 minutes. After 7 to 8 minutes, uncover and cook until the soil remaining water is completely gone. The nice sear has formed. I'll make another dish for today's bento. It's easy to make using leftover vegetables and meat you have at home. I'm gonna use green bell pepper, cabbage, and pork belly. Cut everything into bite-sized pieces. Oil the pan and stir fry cabbage first. Once all the oil has been spread out, cook the pork in the corner. Sprinkle the pork with salt and pepper. When the color of the pork has almost changed, add bell pepper. Turn off or lower the heat and add seasonings, miso paste, oyster sauce, mirin, and grated garlic. The garlic miso stir fry goes well with a variety of vegetables and even chicken, so please try making it. If the sauce is thickened, it will mix well with the ingredients and is also added for bento, so potato starch is added. Dissolve well with an equal amount of water before adding. A little water was added. Mix on high heat for 1 to 2 minutes and it's done. By the way, rice must be packed and cooled in the bento box in advance, or it will cause it to spoil. Gyoza and stir-fries should also be cold before stuffing. This is red pickled ginger and pickled daikon. Next, I will introduce a very simple fried rice dish with a minimum number of ingredients. But first, let's start with making croquette. Finely chop the onion. Cut potatoes into thin slices as they will be cooked in the microwave. Warm at 500 watt for 5 to 6 minutes. The secret is to fry the onion in butter. The croquette will taste so much better. When the onions have softened to some extent, add ground meat. Season it with sake, soy sauce, curry powder, sugar, and miso paste. If you like, you can add a little dashi powder or stock powder. My miso already has dashi in it, so I did not add it. Turn off the heat when the liquid is gone. When potatoes are soft enough, mash them. Mix the meat from earlier with the potatoes. The ratio should be such that the potatoes are slightly more than the meat. Once mixed, taste and add more salt and pepper if needed. Also add coarsely ground pepper. I usually don't add curry powder, but this curry version of croquette was a big hit with my husband. Shape it into the desired shape. I was in the mood for a big croquette today, so I made it this big. Make butter and dip as usual. It's too big and heavy. Coat all over with panko and deep fry in oil. I fry them for about 3 minutes on each side. Too little oil, so I had to tilt the pan at the end. The oil is not very much, but it has turned a beautiful golden brown color. Now let's make fried rice. The rice was cooked with a little less water to make it firmer. Whenever I make fried rice, I always do so. Put oil in a warm fry pan and crack eggs into the pan. If the oil is hotter, the edges of the heart will be nice and slightly charred. Please do so, everyone. Put rice here. Stir quickly. Mash the eggs and toss them into the rice. Seasoning is salt and pepper and honey. Stir fry the rice over high heat as if to remove water from the rice. Some yolks thicken and completely cover rice, while some yolks harden and become like fried eggs, offering a variety of textures and taste. Add foil pepper for extra flavor. Finally, taste and add salt and pepper and honey. In Japan, the ideal fried rice is one in which each grain of rice can be felt and is not sticky. If the rice is cooked a little firmer in advance, it's easier to make the rice into flaky and nice. Spread a salad under the croquette. It's best when eaten with tonkatsu sauce. Next up are 3 rice bowls, 3 side dishes, and this tasty sweet sour chicken. Cut the chicken into small pieces. Sprinkle with salt and pepper. Sprinkle on both sides of the chicken. Coat both sides with potato starch as well. This small amount of oil is fine. Cook the skin of the chicken to a crisp. After about 3 minutes, turn over. Cook the other side for 3 minutes. Then remove. Save the remaining oil for another dish. Make the sweet sour sauce. Put ketchup, rice vinegar, sugar, and soy sauce. My husband likes it sweeter, so I use a little less vinegar, but if you like it sour, use 1.5 to 2 times the amount of vinegar. Place the sauce in a clean pan and heat gently. Return the chicken. Bring the sauce to light boil while you drizzle the sauce over the chicken. From here, we'll make side dishes. Remove the stems and stringers from the green beans. Cut into pieces of suitable size. Peel and thinly slice the lotus root. Since lotus root discolors quickly, soak it in vinegar water until you are ready to use it. Thinly slice the kabocha as it will also be used. Our kabocha squash both are broad, also hard. I skipped microwaving it for a minute or so beforehand, so it was really hard to cut it. Prepare a pan or pot of boiling water and boil the green beans for 2 minutes. Roast kabocha in olive oil until tender. When the kabocha is slightly browned and softened, turn off the heat and melt the butter. Adding butter after turning off the heat will leave a stronger butter flavor. This is my husband's favorite way to eat kabocha. Finally, add the beet sugar and you are done. You can use honey or sugar. I don't like to wash the pan, so I will season the green beans here. There is no need to turn on the heat. Add ground sesame seed to the boiled green beans. Seasoning is simply soy sauce and beet sugar. You had a little bit of buttery flavor from earlier. I added some more sesame seeds. Mix well and it's done. Wipe the water off the lotus root slurry with paper towel before putting it in the oil. Fry in oil until crispy. Deep fry until lightly browned. And you have crispy, delicious lotus root chips. Finally, we will start making onigiri. Since kombu tsukudani, sweet salty simmered kombu is expensive and in large quantities when bought, shio kombu is used instead. Add dried bonito flakes, soy sauce, sesame oil, and sugar. This is super delicious when eaten with rice. Since it's difficult to grab the rice when it's hot, it's recommended that the rice be placed in the bowl to cool slightly. Wet your palm slightly and spread a little salt. Make a small rice bowl and punch a small hole in the middle. After adjusting the size to fit the size of your bento box, roll it in nori seaweed as desired. Place kombu you just made. This is umeboshi pickled plum. Chicken and side dishes are also packed in the bento box. The last rice bowl is cold roll. It was frozen and thawed naturally. Put white sesame as you like. The last one is healthy chicken Katsudon bento. I'm gonna make a simple salad with protein-rich broccoli as a side dish for Katsudon. Broccoli cores are also used by cutting them into thin slices. Cut into small pieces for easy packing in bento boxes. These are onions to be added to chicken Katsudon. Remove the tendon from the chicken tenders. Sprinkle salt and pepper on both sides. Since making butter is a hassle, mayonnaise is substituted. Today I used chicken tenders because I wanted to use healthy meat, but the recipe is the same if you want to make it with chicken thigh or pork, so try it with whatever meat you like. Once the panko are on like this, let them blend while you make the salad. Fry broccoli in a fry pan to heat through. Add a little oil as needed. We don't eat broccoli raw in Japan, but is it more common to eat it raw overseas? I like boiled broccoli best with mayonnaise. Today I'm going to season it a little differently. Sprinkle a pinch of sugar. Add mentoyu. Mentoyu can be made with soy sauce, mirin, and a little dashi powder. Add dried bonito flakes if you have one. Add crab sticks or ham as you like. Mix well to complete. Next, let's fry the chicken. I used the leftover oil that was used for deep frying the other day. Fry in less oil. Oil disposal is also easy. Fry until nicely golden brown, about 3 minutes on each side. I smelled a nice aroma of mayonnaise. After this, I'll make chicken katsudon with this. Today I will prepare shredded cabbage to reduce the amount of rice. Wash and drain cabbage thoroughly and pack it in a bento box with rice. The rice should be cooled like this beforehand. Make katsudon sauce in a fry pan. Put water, mirin, soy sauce, sake, sugar, and dashi powder. Add all the seasonings, and then turn on the heat. Since the amount of meat is smaller today than when I usually make katsudon, the amount of sauce is also reduced by half. After mixing the sauce, add the onions. Cook the onions over medium heat while at the same time reducing the sauce to a simmer. When the sauce has reduced slightly and the onions are soft, beat the egg and add the white. Put chicken katsu here. Finally, add the yolks and heat lightly. Since the amount of rice is reduced and the chicken is made with chicken tenders and less oil, you can make katsudon without feeling guilty. It's as good as regular katsudon, very yummy! Thank you so much for watching our video. Please subscribe to our channel. If you are already a subscriber and would like to support our channel, please join our membership. Membership feedback will be reflected in content creation. See you in the next video.